welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today I will be making banana bread. It turned out so delicious and the perfect sweetness. So for this recipe you will need 2 cups or 250 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt. I used pink salt, 80 grams of unsalted butter and extra for greasing, half a cup or 100 grams of brown sugar. For me it turned out the perfect sweetness. So if you prefer it sweeter, you can actually add 3/4 of a cup of sugar if you like, 2 medium eggs, 4 bananas depending on size, but also depending on how much banana flavor you want. This is optional, but I used organic cocoa nibs, so I used 4 tablespoons, or you can also use chocolate chips. So the first thing I did is grease my loaf tin. This is quite a small tin, so if you want to use a bigger one, you can double the recipe. Then I preheated my oven to 180 degrees Celsius on fan. To my flour I added my baking powder and also my salt. Now you just want to mix the dry ingredients. So to a new bowl I added my butter and also my brown sugar. I use an electric mixer to mix everything together because the consistency has to turn out kind of like a paste. Now make sure to have softened butter. I left my butter out of the refrigerator for I would say 3 hours, but it was still a bit harder, so it took a bit longer to mix everything. In a separate bowl I just cracked in 2 eggs and I'm just giving that a quick whisk. You don't really have to do this step, especially if you're using an electric mixer. You can kind of just pour in the egg straight into the butter and sugar mix. Now I just want to beat that until everything is well incorporated. My mixer is not the best, so I had to use a spatula to scrape down the sides. As you can see, I still have some sugar at the bottom, so just make sure that it's all well incorporated. I'm just mashing up my bananas. You can also just put this straight into the mixer bowl, but I just find this easier. Add these in to your butter mixture. You just want to mix it well to make sure everything is incorporated. Now I'm adding the organic cocoa nibs, or you can also add chocolate chips. Now I'm incorporating flour a little at a time because I don't want the batter to become too dry. So make sure to do a little at a time, just in case you realize that there's too much flour. So you want quite a wet consistency, so the batter will be sticky. Now I'm going to transfer the batter into my loaf tin. Now I'm just using my spatula to even it out. So you want to bake the banana bread for around 1 hour and insert a wooden stick into the middle to make sure that it's dry. So you want to let this bread cool out of the oven for at least 10 minutes before cutting. I cut into it and I still saw that it was still a bit hot, so it's better to let it cool completely before cutting. This recipe was so simple and so delicious. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you have tried it, please let me know and let me know how it tastes, and I will see you next time.